G'day, guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry I'm a bit late. I had some issues I needed to take care of, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Excited to be back again, and we are going to do the kind of the next chapter in this series of Lorne reads his chat log, the Holy Lornography. There he is. There, look at him. He's so happy. He's yeah. So we'll crack pretty much straight into it because I don't think there is too much more that needs to be said. Obviously this is where Debbie and Emma convinced him it'd be a good idea to read his chat log. And what we had in the last stream was pretty much a lot of the preamble to that, so we didn't actually get to him reading any of the chat log yet, but it was a little bit of him trying to make excuses for what he said and all that kind of stuff, and a whole lot of Debbie holding into account and, yeah, telling him how it is, which was lovely. So, let's go and say hello to everyone, shall we? Let's have a look. Hope everyone's day has been good up until now, and stays good. G'day, Winnie's boyfriend/husband, Dr. Cassandra Elizabeth Vaughn. G'day to you again. It's the second time today. How lucky am I? Cornville Councillor, Rachel D. Jose Aguerta. I was enjoying a succulent Chinese meal, Jose. Are you cheating on me? Killdeer, g'day mate. Andy E. Spencer Silvera. Eva Little McNugget, second time I've had the pleasure of your company today too. That's lovely. Yarn Queen, Lethal Brownie, Alison K. I'm your favourite veggie. Seeing I'm the only vegetable-based streamer, I don't know how to take that, but hey, I was better than being your least favourite veggie, I guess. The Time Machine, g'day buddy. Mandy S. Leah Greer's Evil Twin Eel Rigs Mustache Leah Greer. Fuck me, every time I see you, your username gets longer. It's good though. Pee-wee is great. Who else we got? Chris Bromelo. G'day Chris. C&J Dev. Fly Guy Fi. Alison K. Actually, I already said hello to you, Alison K. I take the second hello back. No, not really. Gorilla Spawn, William Dodds Jr., Wes Most, g'day Wes. Honest, I'm just being honest. Good to see you again. Yeah, I think that's everyone. So let's crack into it, shall we? Oh, Donde Lita, I missed you. Anna Rourke. Cool. Oh, Vast Ravioli, good to see you. Juniper, Sam Fordyce 2011. Yeah, cool. As usual, yell at me if I missed you. Let's do it. So this is the second call. So they've already had one call, and Debbie basically said fuck off and left. So now this is the next call in the series. And once again, thank you to Winnie's boyfriend/husband for the stream art, and also Prince Cord, who put together this kind of all the calls in order. It's really helpful.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
I thought you fell asleep.
No, I didn't fall asleep.
Oh. I'm trying to take care of a boo-boo right now.
What happened?
Sorry, Wes Moist. Wes Moist. Is that how I say it? It probably is. I know I speak like a dickhead.
I don't know.
Hey, VA Hoss.
No idea how I even got it, but started getting infected, so I just
put some battery acid on the lawn.
Cut it back open and I put some antibiotic ointment on it.
Okay.
I must have gotten bit by something. I noticed it earlier today, but I didn't notice it before then.
It's probably the fleas from your bed.
Yeah. Pretty good smart ass.
Yeah.
I don't have any fleas in my bed.
Okay. So.
Well, not on his floor bed at least.
Oh.
G'day, Tracy Hamill.
So.
I wanted to ask you about your homework that you sent.
Okay, when they said perv, I didn't say anything before that for them to ask anything about perv. What they did there was to get me on the subject of sex.
Explain a little bit more about what you mean and how they were persuading you to move forward and to do everything that happened.
Because I hadn't been talking about sex, and they wanted to get me on the subject of sex so that I would talk more about sex. So for them doing that, what they did was they asked me what a perv was, because they said they saw a perv in the room. Well, when they said that, I had looked in the room and I didn't see anybody say anything about perv. So the reason that they did that was to get me to talking about sex again.
Bullshit.
Again, you said that you hadn't done that yet.
No, I hadn't been doing it.
Okay.
But again, I really hadn't. I don't know, I gotta look at it again. I can't remember if I had talked about sex before that or what.
Do you have it in front of you?
No, right now I have my knee in front of me with peroxide.
Okay. Well, why don't you go get it?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me see. No, I hadn't talked about sex yet at all. So I was only the 4th page in.
So you're saying it takes a few more pages till you get to talking about sex with the 13-year-old. How stupid of anyone to think it would happen, so soon. You're not a fast mover.
Okay. So when she said the word perv, that sparked something in you?
It must have. I don't know. Let me see.
And it's like he tries to play this off like, basically he just had this feelings kind of there that were awoken when, like he's some kind of fucking Russian sleeper agent. Like when he heard the word perv, all of a sudden it switched on, which is weird and ridiculous, and also doesn't account for, MySpace, Molly, and all the other kids you tried to molest previously.
Yeah, must have right there. I hadn't said anything about it before. So when they mentioned that, it must have sparked something in me, because I think it was after that I had started talking. Well, I know it was after them saying that. It was a couple pages down, I think, but after that I started talking about it. But they said, well, what do you mean by perv? What's that? LOL. Okay, I'll tell you. It's when they talk about sex. Some people think it's perverted. Okay, in other words, they all want to talk about, that's all they want to talk about. You know what I mean now? Okay, I guess. They want to talk about it. LOL. Yep, LOL. A lot.
So really you had no choice. This kid asked what is a perv, and I guess once she asked that, you just had to start molesting her. Like, sorry you're put in that situation, Lorne.
LOL. Be right back and another drink of water.
G'day, Mistress Joya von Floofington. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I think it was a couple pages after that.
So how do you think that would make you be persuaded or guided into talking about sex?
Because I put it into my head. Because before that, all I had talked about was the school things. Just a regular conversation.
Well, not really, because before then was when you said, hang on a second, let me just, okay, so that was at 10:13 p.m. And
you can't go by the timestamps because timestamps weren't right on them.
well, I'm going by the order so that I can find the line on here.
And it really doesn't fucking matter, Lorne. Like, whether or not you told her to experiment on herself or showed her your dick, at 10:20 or 12:20 is really irrelevant. and it's a pretty fucking stupid thing to focus on. And g'day, Edamame and JR Davis. Well, thanks very much, mate, and I'm glad I'm providing some entertainment for you.
So in the order of the chat, that was at 10:13, and then at 9:53, prior to then, you said, have you heard anything that made you say, wow? So that's when you actually were thinking about sex.
What was that?
Let me see. It was
You
pretty
said-
close
you
to
said-
Hey, the ghost of Tony Farmer.
the beginning. 9:53. 9:53,
G'day, Kathy Mack. No problems, and thank you for being here.
55.
$9.53.55.
So it would have been probably on page 3 or something like that.
Yeah, no, not on my page.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe your pages are out of order. How about if you start at the beginning?
No, my pages are in order. It's just I was missing 149 pages from this, from supposed 407 pages. And it's my discovery package, and it's not supposed to be missing anything, but the timestamps don't match.
Okay,
And
well,
I knew that before.
Well, let's look at this. How about if we start at the very beginning then, and we'll go all the way up until we make that statement.
Sounds good to me, Debbie.
No, because I know what you're talking about. Because I know that I read it before.
Right.
When I first started out.
Right.
I can't find it now.
Okay. Well, we'll find it together.
Okay.
Okay. So start at the beginning. You actually were the one that said hi.
I don't want to read it.
Well, you have to now.
I don't want to read it. And g'day, Shins. Exactly. From the second line, you're a little cutie too. Like, there is no occasion to say that as a 37-year-old man to a 13-year-old girl, other than trying to push the sexual angle.
Oh God. Hi, ASL, please. Okay, I'm not gonna start up there because we know it's not up that far.
No, start up there. We're gonna do it right.
Hi, ASL, please. Hi, 13.
No, I'm gonna be Kayla. Let me be Kayla.
Oh, okay.
G'day, Natty J. And what I listen here, like at the start where it's it's really not too bad. He's really putting as much effort as Lorne could put into anything to reading. And as we get along, and it gets more and more damaging for him, more and more, what's the word? He can't talk his way out of it. He gets all down in the dumps and acting like, oh God, like that he can't read it. So it's nice to pay attention to that. And g'day, Upgrade.
You're as bad as Winnie. She wanted to be Kayla too. What the fuck? Oh, God.
Oh, what fun we have, Debbie.
So fucking funny.
So go ahead and start again.
All right. Hi, ASL, please.
Hi, 13F, Kentucky.
Wow, you're just a young one, huh? I'm using a magnifying glass so I can read this.
Okay. And if you have like smiley faces and stuff like that.
Exactly, Lee Greer. Don't call Cornwall Freeway Australian. You know we don't like being called that. He knows he's fucking Australian.
Or a rose. You have to say rose, smiley face, and stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
but I can't remember the difference. Because online it doesn't come out as a rose smiley face. It comes out as the signals on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, but you know what? You sent a fucking rose so many fucking times. You know what it is, Lorne. So stop acting like this is all new to you. G'day, Cool Whip Cat and Neji255. Just got into Lornography about 2 weeks ago. You love this community. It is a great community, mate. So welcome. And you've got quite the rabbit hole to go down. I am quite envious. I always, when like people say, "Oh, I'm just kind of getting into this now," it's like when someone just starts a TV series that you absolutely loved, and you know that they're about to experience that for the first time. Always a bit jealous. So yeah, hope it goes well for you, mate. There's no escape route in this rabbit hole, though. I'll warn you. So be careful before you enter. And g'day, combat mechanic WZCC. Thanks for being here, guys.
Well, whatever
There's
it
a thing
looks
that's
like.
punching. Okay, I think the one with the A, with the @ sign, I think that's a rose, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now where am I? Okay, there's Rose. A little cutie, too. If nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age.
Really? What's your ASL?
Well, I should say I had 2 nieces your age when I lived in Washington State.
Whenever he says that, he's like, I had 2 nieces. I always think like, where are the girls, Lorne? What did you do to them? G'day, Rachel Lynn. And Vast, thank you. I'll happily, seeing my nationality gets disgraced so much, I'll happily become a Mexican.
They were your age. They're a little older now, but it still feels to me like they're your age. I'm 36. I'm Nashville.
Oh, Nashville. Cool.
Oh God. You must be bored if you're on the internet.
Yeah, laugh now, Lorne. You know, it's not going to be so funny over the next few calls, buddy. So laugh it up now, dickhead.
Unless you think it's fun. LOL. That's me. Those are my dogs.
Cool.
The black one is Button, and the little white one is Daisy.
Aw, they're cute.
I have a cam too if you'd like to see me on cam. You can see Bud on cam too. I gave Daisy away to my nephew before I moved here to Nashville.
Aw, you gave her away.
And goes to Tony Farmer. No, I haven't actually seen that. Please marry me, my boy. Please marry my boy. No, I haven't seen that. I might have to check that out. And Upgrade has a strong theory that Tiffany developed Stockholm Syndrome and is now living with Lorne in his roach-infested trailer. Interesting theory. The only reason I would say that's not the case is, you know, well, 2 reasons. You know, Tiffany's been on many streams, and his reception is so fucking shit out there, she wouldn't be able to get on. And there are guys on the internet, so you know Lorne is not letting anyone that actually got trapped into going out there anywhere near the internet.
Yeah, I really wasn't very happy to, but I thought it would be best for her because my nephew and his wife have a dog just like her.
Cool.
Cute. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh, God. This is so funny. And honest, yes, exactly. Daniel Polito vibes when he says she's dead. He had nieces.
Did you get the other 2 pigs I sent you?
Of your dog? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Shins. Honey, let's stay in tonight and cuddle while we read out your chat log preying on children. You know, that's what this stage feels like. It feels like this is some, you know, real cutesy romantic time they're having together. Oh, remember that time I told her to experiment with herself? Oh, good one, Lorne. You really, you know, you're a really great guy. I am a lucky, lucky woman.
Okay. Want to see me on cam?
Sure.
Look at those big blue eyes. You're so cute.
Lorne doing a Debbie impression, Winnie's boyfriend/husband. Probably got a voice changer. Those things are fucking mint.
Rose and I don't know what the...
That's like a big smiley face.
Rose and big smiley face. Hi. And I have no idea what that next one is.
It's probably like another stupid smiley face. Hi, LOL. Thanks.
You're welcome. What time is it there?
8:37.
Okay, so 8:37. I'm just looking at the timestamp there. She said it's 8:37, and on my thing it reads 6:37. So like 2 hours.
Because you're in a different time zone, you fucking idiot. Like, this is basic shit. And g'day, Lulu Bop.
That's what timestamp. I just noticed that after all these years.
Okay.
Go figure. Okay,
it's not,
same
you know
time
what?
as here,
It's
then.
it's not some conspiracy theory or anything. It's going to depend on what computer they're looking at, what the timestamp on that computer happens to be.
I know. I just.
And Combat Mechanics says rewatching some TCAP and knows a lot of Predators were left-handed. That's interesting. I wonder if there's any kind of correlation there. And it's just got me thinking here, where he goes on about, the timestamps are different and this kind of stuff. Like, he always talks about he had this rock solid defense that his attorney wouldn't take. Like, I guarantee this is apart from his kind of bullshit about not being dissuaded and all this kind of shit, the main part of his defense, I reckon, was going to be these time zone things. I reckon he looked at that and he's gone, this has been edited. I've got them banged to rights. He was going to get up there and say, Your Honour, I present two different time timestamps. I rest my case.
I just realized that I just noticed that after all these years of looking through this crap, I've just noticed it.
Right.
So it's like always finding something new. Okay, same time as here then. I thought it was. Well, I look cuter on him than I do in that picture. LOL.
Yeah.
LOL. That's because pictures don't do very good with me. LOL. What did I say? LOL.
I know. Stupid. Oh, LOL.
LOL. I bet all the boys are after you at school, huh? LOL. Be right back.
No, not really. LOL.
And this is, I'm pretty sure it was Shins that made this point on one of, Andy, Tiff, and Amanda's streams about this constant be right back to get a drink, be right back to get coffee, that kind of stuff. And I do agree. I think it is overstimulation because it always seems to happen after he says something that gets him excited. Like he's like, can't believe all the boys aren't after you at school, like all that kind of stuff. And it's predominantly around either when he's talking about something sexual with her or focusing on the fact of how young she is. So that it leads me to two things. I fully agree. I fully think that's to agree with overstimulation. I think he needs to get up and kind of, because he is overstimulated. And to me, it really does enforce, and this is just my opinion, that, I mean, he's obviously a pedophile, but he's got a strong attraction there. Like, I know some people think basically, he would have sex with a kid, but it's not a predominating thing. It's more like he'll take what he can get. But I do think it is stronger than that. Like, I think that even right now, if he could have sex with children and not go back to jail, like, that would be his preference. Like, as in, you put in, say, a Debbie in front of him and a Kayla, he's going to pick Kayla. Just my opinion. G'day Gorilla Spawn, and also passed out Roy in the van on the fucking horn. And Jason Spears, I think I said hello to you. If not, hello again. And Ellison K, every time you say g'day, you think you should start welcoming your clients that way. You absolutely should. Start saying that, and they will think you're pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, do we really have to say LOL all the time?
Yes. You're the
Holy
stupid ass who
crap.
put it in there. You're going to have to read it.
Exactly.
You can say lol.
Shit.
Do you want to say lol instead?
Those LOL sound just as bad as LOL.
Okay.
Back. Hang on again. I need to put a towel on the bottom of my door so the neighbors will think the lights are out and I've gone to bed. LOL.
Okay, LOL.
Now I'll wash my face. Okay, all set now. LOL.
Why do you want to do that?
Because they're starting to annoy me. They keep coming over here and asking to use my phone, my computer, and if I'll take them to the store. LOL.
LOL. They must bug you lots.
Yep, and it's starting to aggravate me. LOL.
LOL.
So I'm kind of giving them a go-away attitude right now. LOL. I find it hard to believe that.
That's another one of his little Lorneisms, a go-away attitude. Like, there is so many things, so many phrases I'd never heard of before, Lorne. And g'day, Duchess of Cornwall.
Boys at your school aren't after.
And down hours power.
All after you. You're a little doll.
Aw, thanks.
You're very welcome. If only you were like 5 years old, I'd be after you too. LOL.
Really?
Definitely. LOL. You did the right decision when you put Princess on your ID name. So cute. LOL.
How about if we stop there for a second so we can kind of talk about what's already happened?
Okay.
Okay. So there's a couple of things here. You had mentioned how cute she is a couple of times already.
Yeah.
Talking about how the boys at school would be after her, and it's surprising that they're not. And it's almost like you're putting yourself in that position, like saying, if I was at your school, I would be after you. Especially when you say, if you were only like 5 years older, I'd be after you too.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then also, why would you have your cam on for her? Why would she be interested in looking at you?
I don't know.
Well, Debbie, being the daughter of two doctors, I figured she'd never seen a rundown shithole with absolutely no furniture in. So I just wanted her to show her how the other half lived.
I don't know what I was thinking at the time.
I mean, I know that you do sort of remember, because you remember the
G'day, KY.
conversation starting and all of that. So reading this over, I think you can get an impression of what you were thinking about at the time when you started having this conversation with her.
But I don't remember turning the camera on that early.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant, but I mean, you're asking very early, want to see me on cam. And if you're just interested in talking to her and being a nice...
Another one of my highlights of these calls is just like a lot of Debbie, Tiffany's exasperations. Like, it's like, I feel like she is all of us when talking to this guy. Like, it's just like this kind of, because it must have been so fucking frustrating. When he just goes on these stupid little tangents or excuses and that kind of stuff. And g'day Pam Simpson and Eileen Clayman and Clinton Barella. G'day to all you guys. Thanks for being here.
Sky and all of that, which I know we've already talked about, and we know that wasn't the case. But if that was your contention at the very beginning, then who cares about seeing you on cam? She sees a picture of you already because she saw your other dog that you didn't have with you. And then you're asking her if she thinks you're cute.
Yeah. I don't think I had very good thoughts.
You didn't.
I don't like reading that friggin' thing.
Well, I can understand why. Because it's there in black and white. Everything that you were doing, everything that we were thinking, it was really, really clear and obvious.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mirror of the person in that apartment at that computer talking to her.
It sucks because it was me that said that shit.
Sure was.
And acted that way.
So then basically, when you're talking about how they got the ball rolling for you to talk about sex, that's not true.
No, it's not. It's actually me that did that.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
In all honesty, I mean, an adult person isn't going to be interested in talking to a child. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I didn't see that when I read it with Winnie.
You didn't see that?
I didn't.
Well, I think that you've been trying to not.
You didn't see it because you guys read it like it was a fucking joke, just laughing probably more than you're laughing here. It's like, especially through like some of the harder shit, like you, and that is really how you feel about it. This is all, especially when we get later on and you start getting all fucking, oh jeez, and you can't believe you said it. It's just all performance for Debbie because you somehow think she's gonna want to fuck you after this.
Not see it.
I think so too, because when I was reading it with Winnie, I was so nervous about reading it with someone and reading it all over again, especially reading it with someone.
Yeah.
Playing the part of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just made it so I couldn't concentrate on what was being said, and I think it's a lot more uncomfortable with Winnie than it is with you.
Did you say meh after every line instead of LOL?
I don't remember.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny if she did.
She probably did. Knowing her, she probably did.
Yeah, exactly.
don't
Lol.
know. There was just something about it that was different. And reading it for the first time, because with Winnie was the very first time that I had ever
G'day, Peter O'Keefe, and g'day, Cybersqueak.
had another girl reading it with me.
Meh.
Mhm.
So that made me nervous.
Okay. Well, I think now it gives you the opportunity to see it in new light.
Yeah. Fucking Jesus Christ.
He was nervous because Winnie took his chat log reading virginity. The only virginity he's ever lost and ever will.
So not only were you trying to see if she's interested in talking about sex, but really the behavior that you were exhibiting was grooming. I'm sure that
Well, honest, really, the floor is far more comfortable than a bed, so why would he waste money on a bed?
they've
Yeah.
talked to you about that before, right?
Yeah, they have.
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
It means I was trying to prepare her to talk about sex. I was grooming her. Telling things that she wanted to hear, being nice for deviant reasons.
Mm-hmm. Is that the reason why you brought up your nieces?
No. I know that's not the reason I brought my nieces. Just because they were that age when I used to. I had them about 70-80% of the time.
Then what was
And, like, that's another thing. Like, I call bullshit on that. Why would he have them 70 to 80% of the time? Like, we haven't heard anything that, you know, they're... Because I'm pretty sure they were... Were they Richard's kids? But anyway, haven't heard anything about them being unfit parents or something. And even if they were, why would Lorne be the fucking choice? Like, I highly doubt he had them 70-80% of the time. And if he did, that's horrifying.
the purpose of bringing them up then?
I don't know. Just because they were the same age when I used to watch them. I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe that was part of the reason.
What comes to your mind when you look?
Lorne had balled up clothes and vibes. Very true, honest. If Lorne strikes me as one of those guys that, you know, would wear his undies for a week, turn them inside out, and wear them for another week.
Look at that line, and it's pretty.
I'm not looking at the line right now because
Okay. Well, I'll read it to
every
you.
time we take I'll look at the line, but every time we take a break and talk, I get away from the paper.
Right. It's at
Sorry, Shins, I wonder if Lorne made small circles like a dog before he lied down on the floor.
the very top, so it's easy to find. It's right after you say a little cutie
Yeah, I see
too. Okay.
Well, maybe that was to get her to talk and to feel okay about talking to me.
Maybe.
Mhm.
If nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age. So I'd have to say that must have been my reasoning for mentioning them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This fucking sucked. All this fucking time later, I just now get to see this shit.
I think it's important for you to read it again.
I think it's important to read it again, too. But I won't do it with anybody but you.
Okay.
Oh, how sweet. Honestly, guys, if you were dating a guy or just started talking to a guy and he said, the only person I'll read my chat log of a month-long molestation of a 13-year-old child is you. I mean, how could you not want to marry him right there? I mean, that is love.
That's fine.
For a couple of different reasons. Because I'm comfortable with you,
Okay.
and you actually stop and help me see this stuff.
Mhm.
And I need to see this stuff. This shit bothers me.
What bothers
Fucking
you?
bothers me so fucking bad that I fucking talk like that.
Here come the tears.
Lorne,
I
why
hate
are
the
you
whole
crying?
conversation. But I hate that I talk like that. I hate the whole fucking conversation. That it was me that said all that shit.
Why did you say it?
Obviously for deviant reasons, obviously. I'm not ready to just come out and say it like that, yeah.
Why aren't you ready?
Because it's fucking hitting me with this.
Just come right out and say it. What's going through your mind right now?
I want to have sex with an underage girl.
So when you
It's
saw her
fucking
name,
pathetic.
Kayla Princess, is that what you were thinking immediately?
No. I didn't even go in that room to look for an underage girl. I was in an adult chat room.
I was looking for an adult girl.
We had talked about that before too, that you weren't in a teenage chat room. But you must have seen some kind of a picture because you saw already what she looked like.
I don't think there was a picture on there.
Well, at the very beginning, when she said 13 FKY, you said, wow, you're just a young one, a little cutie too.
Well, there must have been a picture on there then.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And I mean, having it say Kayla Princess 94, what does that tell you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did message her for the reason of talking to her about sex, because you saw a picture of her. You saw that she was a little girl. She confirmed it by saying how old she was. And then it was off to the races.
Yeah, because I checked out. I always looked at profiles before I messaged people to make sure they weren't guys that I was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is fucking hard.
All Lorne wanted to do was sing his songs in his country music adult chat room, and they had to come along and put that 13-year-old girl there. They know that's his catnip.
It's time for you to acknowledge all of it. It's time for you to go through the chat log and see what you were doing. You know that you were in there to talk about sex.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking for an underage girl when I went in there, though.
Not there specifically.
Evidently, it didn't matter to me.
It didn't matter to you. And then not only that, but there were other girls too.
I mean, other girls too.
The other decoys that you messaged and did the same thing.
And he always hangs on about this, you know, I wasn't going there for that reason, or I wasn't going into chat rooms for that reason. I don't believe him. I think he absolutely was going there for that reason. But it's a redundant point anyway, because it makes no difference. Like, if he's going to the store because he's got to buy some milk, and along the way he sees someone and he stabs them, he doesn't get to turn around and go, I wasn't going out to stab anyone, I was going to get some milk. Like, it changes nothing.
See, I don't remember messaging any other underage girls.
Well, I'm telling you, we had talked about it before, that Disney girl and that Kimmy Cocoa Puff. Or
what a shame Disney Girl isn't in the chat tonight. You know, you would have got your shout out.
Whatever the name was. Something like that.
And I don't remember them.
Because you didn't have a long conversation like this with Kayla. It was just a couple of lines, but they were very similar to the very start of this chat. Wow, you're just a young one, little cuties. All of that kind of stuff. It's the same thing. There you go. You know that it was you. You were going down the list. You came across these girls, and that's who you wanted.
The fuck was wrong with me at the time?
We talked about this the last time that we kind of got into it.
You're right, Lee. His track record is unblemished.
Do you remember what we talked about?
No, I don't.
Well, remember you were talking about how you used to fantasize and masturbate when you would hear things on the news about kids getting molested and abused.
I didn't masturbate to them.
You masturbated to the thought of it. You did.
No, I never masturbated to the thought of that.
Lorne, if it was a fantasy of yours and it turned you on, how is it even possible that you didn't masturbate when you were thinking about it?
Because I had always only masturbated to ex-girlfriends.
Oh.
Okay, well then how was it that you were masturbating when
you don't have ex-girlfriends to masturbate to?
You were on camera with Kayla.
You know, because that was right there and happening.
Well, it was engaging in your fantasy. Your fantasy was right in front of you. So when you were fantasizing before, all of the times before, those news stories, that type of a scenario where there's a young girl, that was in your spank bank. That's what you were using.
I wouldn't go and masturbate to those things that I heard on the news.
I'm not saying that you necessarily would hear it on the news, get up, go to the bathroom, and start jerking off. It's possible that that didn't happen, but that went into your memory bank. That was your fantasy. Yeah. So you did masturbate to that.
Well, it wasn't in my mind.
Actually, I do take that back when I said he didn't masturbate to ex-girlfriends, because he never had any. He does class MySpace Molly as an ex-girlfriend, which is really disgusting. But I would believe that in that circumstance, he would be masturbating to an ex-girlfriend.
I when I masturbated though, because
It was a
my
fantasy
ex-girlfriends
of
were in my
yours.
mind.
It was a fantasy of yours, though. That's why it's really hard to believe. It's something that excited you. So if it excited you, that's going to be something that you're thinking about when you're alone.
I don't remember ever dragging thoughts around with me though. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember. You know, how do I say this? Like after hearing about the stuff on the news, I don't remember days later or weeks later thinking about it.
Maybe not the specific details of the story, but the fantasy itself. You having sex with an underage girl, that was something that you masturbated to.
I hate so bad that I put myself in this fucking position.
So, no denial there, really, Lorne. And g'day, Pink Puggins, and I agree. Yes, I feel terrible for it too.
Let's stay on track here. We're not talking about the position right now that you're in. We're talking about before, when this all started and you had your fantasy, that's what you would masturbate to. And it didn't have to be all the time, because I know that's going to be the next thing you say. You thought about ex-girlfriends and things like that. But it was a fantasy of yours. It turned you on. And there were moments when it became the subject of what you were masturbating to.
Oh. Jesus fucking sucks.
I want you to know that all of this stuff that you're telling me doesn't change the way that I'm willing to help you. You know what I mean? There's not going to be something that you're going to tell me that all of a sudden I'm going to stop talking to you or I'm not going to help you anymore.
Well, I know, but you told me not to say it, but I already told you I'm not going to lie to you about anything. If I remember something, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
If I'm not honest with you, it's not going to help me.
No, it isn't.
Once you get over that 3-year buffer.
You're right.
And I want to get past this fucking crap.
Good. I'm glad that you do. It's about time.
And you don't, because if you wanted to get past this crap, you would have engaged appropriately with your therapist. You would have participated in your sex offender class and actually passed it. These are all things you'd be doing instead of yelling at imaginary people online and sending photos of your limp dick to everyone.
It's about time that you work through this instead of fighting against it and fighting against everyone else who has come before me with your counselors and Emma.
I hate it. I fucking this.
Did you always cry like this when things are difficult for you to answer? Where did you learn that?
Where did I learn it?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to cry. It doesn't bother me at all to cry if something's bothering me.
Have you ever used it to get out of trouble or to kind of soften the person that you're talking to?
No, I can't just turn it on.
Okay.
Come on, Lorne. Like, have some respect for everyone. That is literally one of the only things you do well, is turning on the waterworks and then immediately snapping into a rage.
When stuff is bothering me.
Okay.
And I don't usually hold it back.
Okay. Well, that's fine. So now you're going to take a deep breath.
I am. I'm trying. I'm trying to stop.
Okay.
Don't think that just because a guy cries, it makes him less of a man, because it doesn't.
No, I don't think that it does.
Guy's not a man. Guy's not a man unless he does cry.
I think that sometimes people use crying as a way of getting people to back off of them.
Manipulation.
Right.
I'm not using it for that.
Manipulation.
Because I've been completely comfortable with you, and I'm not using it for that. In order for me to get past this shit, it's gonna fucking bother me. And I knew it was going to, because it bothered me when I was reading it with Winnie.
Okay.
Bothers me so fucking much.
So, as we were talking about, you wouldn't masturbate to the story at the time when you would hear it or when your fantasy would be triggered. But it was a fantasy of yours that you would masturbate to.
See, that I don't understand that, because if it's not that I'm thinking about, how am I masturbating to that?
What do you mean it's not that you're thinking about?
If it's not underage girls that I'm thinking about when I'm masturbating, like if it's my ex-girlfriends and shit, how is it the underage girls that I'm masturbating to?
Because your ex-girlfriend is an underage girl. Or she was at the time that she was your girlfriend. And g'day, Tim, darling, and Drive 137.
Well, it didn't necessarily have to be every single time. You know, a lot of people will have different things that turn them on. So at whatever moment something happens to turn them on, that's what they can masturbate to.
I don't know, maybe I'll remember something down the road, but I don't remember anything right now.
Even if you don't remember specific, I mean, you're not going to remember specific days and stuff like that, or how many times or whatever, but if it was something that you did have as a fantasy, then I imagine it's going to pop up during your sexy time.
Probably. You'll know if it does.
Why will I know that?
Anything that we go through here, I'm not lying to you. I'm going to lie to you about anything. You got to be able to get past this shit, because it's hard living with it.
Okay. All right. So now we've had a couple of things come up. So we know now that the person who was Kayla did not do anything in order to get the sexual stuff started with you.
Yeah. Now I know that.
That was you.
Years later.
Well, I think you knew that. I think you knew that the whole time, Lorne. And you were just in denial. You didn't want anyone else to believe that about you. So a lot of times when somebody does something shitty, then they're just going to protest, and they're going to protest strongly. And that's kind of what you've been doing. And that's in order to get people to back off. You didn't want people to question this about you. And unfortunately, when people go along with what you've said, like your mom and your Aunt Sharon, when they take the position of perverted justice is the problem, Chris Hansen is the problem, you never should have been on that show, they're not helping you.
I know. They're protective.
Well, unfortunately, that played into how you were responding to other people, too.
I know. I wonder if that's why I did this. It's because of what happened to me.
Well, I'm not going to agree with that, because I think that...
I just want your opinion on it. I don't want you to agree with me. I'm not even saying that that's the reason why. I'm just wondering if that's why. I'd like to figure it out someday.
Well, there's a lot of people that have stuff happen to them, like abuse, and they know how much it hurts, and they're not going to then put that onto someone else.
That most people that abuse have been abused.
That's not an out.
No, it's not an out. That's just what they told me. And that's what made me wonder if that's why I did what I did.
I don't agree with that. That's the reason why you did what you did.
I can't really say that it is either, but I can't say that it's not. I don't know. But I want to figure it out.
It's just like when you hear someone who has...
I'm running out of excuses, Debbie, so I really don't want to just throw this one away. I'd really like to keep that kind of in the ether to call back on when I need to.
Who had an experience with someone who was an alcoholic in their family. And that was so traumatic that they never drink. So just because you have that experience as a child doesn't mean that you then move forward and become the abuser when you get older.
Yeah.
The reason why this happened with Kayla, it was because you liked underage girls. That was your fantasy.
Are you sure that's the reason, though?
I would say so.
Pretty confident.
Maybe that's one of the reasons I did it. There's been more than one reason.
The reason why you did it was because you had a fantasy of having sex with an underage girl.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that because it's obvious.
Right, it's obvious. So, that's the reason.
I'm just wondering if there's something else I was driving it to.
Nah.
If that wasn't the only reason.
That is the only reason.
How do you know that?
Well, listen, I'm going by what I can feel and by what I have seen through the conversation, what I heard in the phone calls, the way that you showed up at the house. It's obvious, Lorne. And it's obvious that you've been in denial for 12 years. You're saying...
Could that be another reason, too, because I wanted control?
You did want control. Sure. You wanted to be with this girl who didn't have any experience. And I would have to say that the sexual experience that you had previous to that probably wasn't very positive. It sounded to me like your experiences were kind of like fumbling around drunk, and then that was it. And so if you're with someone who doesn't have the experience, who's a virgin, she's not going to laugh at you or make fun of you that you have a small penis. That's weird.
No, I've not been made fun of, and I've been laughed at.
Because you've never been with anyone. You can't have your cock laughed at by someone in person when you're never in person with your cock out.
Having sex.
To your face.
To my face.
And so basically...
And I've never heard anything after either.
Well, no, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell their friends.
Yeah. And another great point here from Tiffany, because he says this quite a lot, oh, no one's ever told me I'm ugly, or no one's ever told me I can't sing, or no one ever told me I'm fat. Because people don't do that. 99% of the people going around are either nice people or they don't like confrontation. No one's going to walk up and say, hey, g'day, mate, just so you know, you're fucking ugly as sin, buddy. They're just going to go, wow, that guy's pretty fucking ugly in their head and walk off. But he seems to think that no one's ever come up to him and said that. So he's Justin Timberlake. And g'day, Hugo Bin, and also Michael Buck.
How it works.
Yeah, well, what about when they come back for seconds? Obviously, something went right.
Well, what went right is that they found someone as desperate as them.
Okay, stop punching me.
I'm not punching you. I'm telling you what my impression is. So getting back to what I was saying, I think that you probably felt insufficient during sex for some reason. And so maybe a virgin isn't going to know any different, and you're going to be able to feel like powerful having the first experience, and she's not going to know if it was good or bad. It's just going to be good because you're telling her that it is.
Am I really going to know if it's good for her?
Yeah, you're not going to know, but You also really don't
Oh, thanks, Anna Rourke. You're so much nicer than that Winnie's boyfriend/husband.
care either.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking selfish. Learning some shit about myself, aren't I?
Yeah, I mean, sex with a 13-year-old is never going to be good for her. But you want.
So he's been humiliated on national television. He's been to jail for 5 years. He has had countless calls with catfish. He's had his own YouTube channel where he's been ragged out, and he's only just finally learning about himself that it's not good to have sex with kids.
Wanted to act as if it was going to be.
I'm an asshole. Not you, me.
Well, I know I'm not one.
I know you're not one. No, I was quite a fucking asshole. You know, I remember fucking doing shit like I didn't even care.
You what?
So I remember doing shit like I didn't even care at that time. Just stupid. Just fucking stupid. Things could have been a lot worse off for me. So this happening actually probably saved my life. This happening.
Oh,
What do you mean saved your
God.
life?
I was being stupid at the time. I was drinking and driving. I'd go down to the fucking bar. I'd confront somebody if they offended one of my friends.
Oh, now I am absolutely going to call that out. You would confront no one. I mean, you hide in the woods and cry when people drive past your house. You scream at people when you're 1,000 miles away over the phone. You are the definition of tough from 1,000 miles away.
Just being stupid. Didn't fucking care about anything.
The thing is that you're linking everything that you were going through at that time, as far as drinking a lot and stuff, and being stupid, as you say. You're linking that to what happened on the internet talking to an underage girl, and it's not the same thing.
I know, but I didn't show any fucking care at all.
No, you didn't, and you still have exhibited that up until the last time you drove drunk. You didn't care then.
Yeah.
You didn't care about the fact that you haven't paid Betty back after all of this time. You were still willing to spend your money going over Tony's, going to the auction, all that shit, building onto your house, stuff that made you okay. So, you know, all of the stuff that has to do with how your life was spinning out of control has nothing to do with what you did on the computer. That was 100% intentional. That was your fantasy. And the internet gave you the platform to be able to act it out. And that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, you're right.
It was in secret. Everything that you were doing was in secret. You thought it was going to stay that way. That's why you drove there.
You're right.
I want you to say it now.
Well, I'm not going to get every word for
No,
word.
you don't have to get it word for word, but I want to make sure that you understand this, because the issue that I have is that we've been through this before.
Everything
about
that
a
I
month
did,
ago.
everything that I did.
Wait a minute. About a month ago, we went through this.
G'day, Majestic Felcor.
And you made the admission about your fantasy. You made the admission that you went to talk to Kayla on purpose. Everything you said was your fault. All of that. We went through all of this.
Yeah, but we hadn't gone through the chat log yet.
No, but as soon as yesterday you were saying, I know I didn't want to go there. You said it again.
I know.
And it's evidence that you still don't get it because of the response that you gave to the question that was in your workbook for class. All you're interested in doing is looking around and seeing whose fault it is.
It was my fault.
I know that.
I didn't see it until we started going through this. I don't know why'd I have to go through this all over again 12 fucking years later to be able to see this shit. How could I possibly have fucking blocked that out?
Well, because you were trying to point at everyone else. This is the reason why you brought up how you were molested as a kid. You're trying to look for an out and say, well, maybe that's why I did it.
I'm trying to look for a reason.
The
of
reason
why I would
is
do something like that.
Lorne, I'm going to spell it out for you again.
But I know what you're saying. You're saying it's because it was a fantasy of mine. I know what you're saying.
Right.
I know
So then
exactly what
why
you're saying
is
when you're saying that. Because
your next statement, I need to find the reason though.
I need to figure out. I want to figure out why did I have that fantasy? What made
I
me
can't
have that fucking fantasy?
I can't tell you why you had it. The fact is that you did have it. That's the specific reason why you talked to her and the other girls that you were going after. And the reason why you showed up at the house was because you thought
Exactly, exactly, Shin. You're a pervert. That's the reason. Like, he's always. I mean, it's just a way for him to deflect and try to make himself seem better. But he's always going on about how I need to find the reason that I was attracted to them. I need to find a reason why I did this. You did it because you're a pervert. You did it because you're a sick motherfucker, and you don't. All you care about is what you want, and not the damage that will cause. There's nothing deeper. There just
you
isn't.
weren't going to get caught. And the idea of you doing that was better than the other story that you tell and saying that there was a friend of yours that was going to take you to the karaoke bar. You were not going to give up the opportunity of meeting up with a 13-year-old virgin when you knew that she was home alone. You weren't going to give it up. That was your once in a lifetime, hopefully not once, but there was your first shot. So you were going to take it. And you did. You didn't think anyone was ever going to find out.
And that's why I went there.
That's why you went there.
I really didn't ever think that I would go there, though. I really was supposed to be just talking.
Why is that even okay?
It's not. It's not okay.
But you're making it as if it was just going to be talking. I didn't plan on actually going to fuck her.
It's not
Instead,
okay.
I was going to expose myself and I was going to say that I was going to marry her and tell her that I was in love with her. Disappoint her like that, a 13-year-old girl. And then what? You were going to disappear?
It's not okay.
If you don't remember Disney Girl and Kimmy Kimmy, I can bet you that there were others.
I don't remember them. I don't remember those two.
I know you don't remember.
You
That's what
mentioned.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
This really sucks that it's taking so fucking long for me to just get this far.
But
Yeah, it does suck.
this far, you haven't gotten anywhere. You have not gotten anywhere. You are no closer to being a decent person. You are no closer to admitting what you are and working on making sure you never do it again than you were the day you walked into that sting house.
That's what I mean when I mentioned that. That's the reason why all of your shit on YouTube is just flooded with trolls. That's the reason why you get the letters that you do. Everything that's happening is because of your attitude. I can almost bet that attempts have been made to contact other predators and they go absolutely fucking nowhere.
You bet the what? Sorry, I got lost for a second there.
I can bet that there have been attempts to get in contact with other predators that were on the show, and they haven't gone anywhere.
Trolls on the internet?
Yeah. They didn't start YouTube channels and try to make videos about their excuses. And I'm not saying that they're any better than you. I'm just saying because you have made those excuses so out there and blasted them for everyone, the response that you have gotten is no surprise.
Being defensive.
Being defensive and being in denial.
Yeah.
Trying to look around and talking about everyone else.
Trying to blame other people.
Talking about your family business. Saying that, oh, it's because of my brothers and my sister. Trying to say, oh, I talked to Kayla and I, quote unquote, fell in love with her because she didn't want anything from me. She wasn't asking for money. Like, you're just searching around. And I remember you saying the most ridiculous excuses, like it was thundering and she was home alone. I wanted to go check on her. Are you serious, Lorne? This is the shit that you're spitting out. It's crazy.
And I never said it was because it was thundering.
Jesus Christ. You know what the problem is? Is you hang on to like this little detail and then you deny it.
Sorry.
You completely turn it around like, oh, well, that's not true because I never said.
Well, I don't know. I didn't. When I remember the little details, I just fit them all. Exactly.
The point is, you were going to go check on her. You wanted to make sure no one was hurting her. And then you were also saying, well, I didn't really want to go there because I saw it was thundering and Bud was home alone and he didn't like it.
The point is I was being defensive about everything when I was wrong about everything to begin with.
Yeah, and so I'm telling you that these are even the excuses.
Yes, Lord, that is literally the point. That is what she has been talking to you about for the last 2 hours. And g'day, Dark Atheist.
That you've told me. And I've just had to say, no, Lorne, that's not right. Let's start again. And this is the thing. I thought a month ago we had come far because finally you were able to starting to admit stuff. And then you backslide into saying, I know I didn't really want to go there. And like I told you last night, that just means I know I didn't want to go there to get caught.
That's true, too. I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to get caught.
Right.
That was the whole purpose of me not wanting to go there because I didn't want to go there to get caught. Obviously, I had the fantasy.
Yes.
And I was playing out the fantasy on there, and I was playing it out too far because I went there. And I couldn't stop myself.
You didn't want...
You counted down to it. Every day it was counting down to it. Am I the only one that's getting a little fed up with Lorne at the moment and needs a little palate cleanser? I've actually got a bit of a different one today. So this is something I came across the other day, which reminded me how much I love it. And I don't know how many people see it because was kind of like an Australian meme, but it's the Democracy Manifest guy. So this this one always makes me laugh. So this is a guy, this was probably filmed maybe 20 years ago, and he was a bit of a kind of a petty criminal, like in Australia, and it's the video of his arrest. He actually got arrested eating at a restaurant for a crime he didn't actually do this time, but it's just pretty fucking hilarious, so I hope you enjoy.
Listen, man, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. I'm not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this? For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off. Head off, one cup, look.
Are you waiting to receive my limp penis? And just, I always, when I listen to the cop that's talking there, I don't sound like that, do I? Like, he sounds like such a bogue, and I really hope I don't sound like that. Come on. Alright, let's get back to it.
Trying to stop yourself.
Like I said,
he actually got a little bit famous from that. They had interviews with him later on. He was in the film clip for. There's a bit of a. I don't think any Americans would have heard of them, but they're a band called the Chats. They're like a really, like, they're a pretty average band, but they got fairly popular here. It's kind of like they're a little punk band, and their song Dine and Dash had him in it.
Didn't because I went there.
Right. So stop saying that you didn't.
So I think that might be our little palate cleanser from now on. rather than having a palate cleanser of Lorne, because, you know, it's just more Lorne when you're trying to get away from Lorne. So I'll keep that there as a palate cleanser. So if anyone needs a palate cleanser at all in my streams, give us a shout out and we'll put him back on.
Want to go without continuing with that statement and saying, I didn't want to go there to get caught.
Right. Didn't want to go there to get caught. That's definitely the reason.
But you did want to go there.
But I did want to go there.
And yes, goes to Tony Farmer. I think, are you waiting to accept my limp penis is the Australian version of Are you anxious to touch my penis? Which, coincidentally, if you were receiving Lorne's penis, it would be limp.
You didn't think you were going to get caught. That's why you were being careful about stuff.
Yeah, it is. So I think back and all the things that I said. Or they're hiding shit. And I just remembered the lock on the door. I mentioned her getting the lock on the door.
You wanted to know when her parents were going to be gone?
Yep.
You wanted to know how much woods was around her house? You wanted to know if she had a garage? You wanted to just pull up and have her jump into the truck so you guys could drive away and no one would see you?
Yes, I thought you
Kayla, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
making fun of the truck.
I know.
Smart ass.
But there were so many steps. There were so many steps and a lot of precaution taken on your part. That's why
G'day, James
you
Sanders.
can't
And Sadface09.
go back
Get your hand off my penis!
on any of this stuff. That's why it's so frustrating to talk about it with you. When you say stuff, I know I didn't want to go there. It's like, yes, you did.
It's never hit me until we started reading through that.
Okay.
I don't know why it didn't hit me when I was reading through it. Well, and I know why, because I was so nervous about it, not wanting to read it.
It's going to be uncomfortable because it's disgusting.
I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking ahead to it, and I know it's going to be uncomfortable. And I'm really going to hate it, too.
Okay. So we're going to do it. We're going to read the entire chat log.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's so fucking hard to do this.
It's so fucking hard.
Okay.
G'day, Buck Dancer. Yes, Drive 137. This is Democracy Manifest.
Hang on 1 second, okay? I'm going to let you take a couple
I see you know your judo well.
of deep breaths, and then I'm going to come right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, how are you feeling?
I'm better. I just blew my nose.
Okay, good. All right. So, I don't know that we will get through the entire thing tonight.
No, I know we won't.
Okay.
That's a lot to go through.
It's a lot.
It
So, what I'm
sure is, Lorne. It's a lot. And Shinzo, I agree. This is one of my favourite photos of Lorne this face, because it was like this him with that face when he's walking into the house, like it's the peak of his life. Like it is literally the absolute peak. Like his life has been shit up until then. It is I guarantee it's the happiest he's ever been, and nearly immediately it's just completely downhill for him, and he'll never get back to that. It just it really makes me feel good thinking about he basically experienced bliss for maybe a minute and a half in his life, and he will never get back to that.
thinking is we can do it in days. And so it'll almost be like chapters.
Okay, you're going to be paying attention to the timestamps.
and his birthday. And exactly Tracy Hamill. Why is he always crying when he was the one being a child molester? Like, it's just crazy. Like, did these kids not think about the effect that Lorne molesting them would have on him? How insensitive.
Yours?
Yeah.
The days? Okay, because you just tell me when to stop. It's hard for
Okay.
me to fucking do it on this because they've got shit screwed up on this.
Okay. Yeah, we can just I'll let you know when to stop because I can follow it along on here. And
that's the other thing. When I think about that it was his birthday, and then, like, I mean, Chris Hansen did such a great job at that interview. And as I've said before, I really think the Bowling Greens thing was the peak of his powers. Like, he's always good, but he was just so in control there. He was such a boss. But I still wish, every time I hear it, when he goes, you know, and you're how old? He's like, 37 today. I really wish that Chris picked up on that and said, "Oh, happy birthday. Do you like your present?"
we can, you know, if it's a short day or something like that, we can do a couple of days. But we can at least know where we're at. And it'll be a clean break instead of...
G'day, Smucker Muck and Cat G and doo-doo-doo-doo. Thanks for being here, guys.
And I'll mark it with my pen on the paper where we're
Okay,
at.
perfect.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Why do you want to help me so much?
Well, I think that you need it, number one. And for some reason, you listen to me.
I know.
And so
That's
I
odd.
think it is really odd. And I'm hoping that it's not just going to be me, because you need a lot of help. There's this potential that I see. Everyone needs this.
Yeah, I know.
Your life can be so much better.
Oh, come
Well, it
on.
used to be
You couldn't have believed that, Debbie. And g'day, Mr. C, and also Richard Johnson.
a lot better. I thank God for you because
Well, it couldn't be worse, to be fair. So I guess it could be better in that sense.
I've never been able to open up to anybody like I did in you,
Yeah.
and that I needed it.
I think you did need it too. But I think that
G'day, Witchert.
with Emma's background, she can really help you dive deeper into this stuff.
You know, we get her out of her little pit first.
Well, she's going through something right now, but she has the experience, she has the education. I don't.
Maybe
I wish I did.
That might help her get her out of her little pit that she's in. Because I know
Maybe.
she's not feeling good about herself.
Yeah, maybe. So that'll kind of be
Okay.
like a goal that we can work toward, to get her more involved in talking about this with you, and also having you successfully complete the assignments that are in your workbook and giving
Yeah.
true and honest answers instead of this bullshit that you're putting down on paper. And you know that it's bullshit, right, Lorne?
Well, I know I put down what I had in my head, and I know I was hurrying. I wasn't.
You
putting thought
can't
into it.
hurry through stuff like that. These are important questions. You've been bitching about having
G'day, Amy. Hey, great to see you.
to take this class again, and yet you're not putting your full effort in there.
Well, okay, with the first ones that I put in, I never put the full effort in because I know I'm going to get feedback on it, and so I want to know which direction to go with it.
Well,
You
you put
complete the whole
these are
exercise on it.
your answers. So in order for you to get proper feedback, you have to put in your answer. What is your true answer? When you do that and they provide feedback or reactions to it, then you can work with that. But the important thing is not to just scribble something down that doesn't make any sense, so they can say, no, Lauren, this is actually what you should be saying.
All right.
Okay?
Put more time into it before when I do
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
G'day, Freaky Gyrations.
No more scribbling.
No more scribbling. No more trying to sugarcoat the answer so that it's not as bad as what it really is. It's important for you to be completely raw with it.
All right.
Okay?
No
So,
rubber.
on every exercise I do, you want me to go over them with you before I get called on in class with them?
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. That's no problem.
All right, because I would
Okay?
love that.
Okay, good. All right. So how about if we get started? Okay, we did a little bit of it before, but we're going to get started again.
This is going to be really hard on me. You know that, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah, I do. It's going to be hard on me.
this is gonna be really hard on me, Debbie. Hold me. Get me through this. Promise me that, we can do it at the end of this.
Too, that I don't want to do this.
I know.
It's not like it's an enjoyable thing to hear you cry.
G'day, high stakes games, and yes, I did. I did just say no rubber. And g'day, James Sanders.
As you're reading your crime.
Do a roll. What's that? No rubber.
I hate even fucking thinking about reading it.
Well, it doesn't last forever. It does come to an end. So we're going to be able to get through it. You're going to be strong. I think it's upsetting to you now because, first of all, it's embarrassing. And then the other thing is, too, is that you're having to acknowledge that you have this sexual attraction to a girl that age and that you meant to do it. All of the things that were said up until this point, and I can tell you it follows through the entire chat log, everything was said by you.
Yeah, I know. It was all my fucking fault, too.
Well, it was your fault, but everything that was said was you.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. You were answering your own questions.
I know.
Oh no. G'day, Mandy. Yes. Thanks for being here.
Fucking disgusting shit. This is gonna be so fucking hard. This is gonna be stressful right up until we're done with it.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it
so
takes.
Sorry that you gotta read it.
Well, somebody has to. I think it takes a lot more than just reading it silently to yourself. It means more to say it out loud and to read it with someone else.
Yeah, well, that someone else being a female makes it even harder.
You're seeing all of your calculations that you were making, all the manipulation that you were doing. And like I said, this is just the beginning.
This is going to be hell.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree, Lorne. I think it's going to be quite satisfying. I'm really looking forward to it, you'll be pleased to know.
But the bright side to that hell is that you weren't talking to a 13-year-old girl.
Shins.
Yeah.
Shins believes he cries so much because the enormous amount of Bud Light has to leave his body somehow. It's just like coming out through his eyes.
That's the bright side to it. Mm-hmm. That's the lucky part. The lucky part for the girl. And it's lucky for you as far as you not being in prison right now.
I know.
Do you see that it's easier for you to say this to a 13-year-old than it is to an adult?
Right now, I don't see it right now. No. Back then, obviously, I didn't give a fuck.
Well, back then, you had your prey right in front of you. You were disguising yourself as someone safe. And you were walking around your apartment and wanting her to look at your dick so that you were hoping that she was going to be turned on as much as you were showing it to her.
Are you streaming Friday, Honest? Alright, I am going to have to go and make sure I set my reminder for that. That will be great. Cornville Councillor, you're a bit behind the stream. Can I explain the term bogan a little more? So, like a bogan is pretty much like it's someone that's, you know, usually fairly low income, although you can still get bogans that are, you know, decently well off, but they usually don't work. They usually have a lot of shit around the house. They're pretty much the Australian version of Lorne without the pedophilia. Like they would do shitty fucking house repairs around the house. They're usually pretty lazy. They usually like going to car races and shit, and they have souped up cars and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so they're pretty much like Lornish type people, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Fucking disgusting pig.
Here we go, guys. We're getting into the actual reading. I hope you've all got your chat logs in front of you so you can follow along.
2007. I am ready when you are. Go ahead.
Hi. ASL, please.
Hi.
Oh, he's already straight into character. You know, he's right into the sounding like this is so hard for me to do. Like, you know, I think we're in for a great performance, guys.
13 female Kentucky.
Wow, you're just a young one, huh? Rose, a little cutie too. If nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age.
Really? What's your ASL?
Well, I should say I had 2 nieces your age when I lived in Washington State. They're your, where am I?
They're dead.
They were your age. They're a little older now, but it still feels to me like they're your age. I'm 36, in Nashville.
Oh,
I used to have nieces, Kayla, but they've aged out now.
Nashville. Cool.
You must be bored if you're on the internet. Unless you think it's fun. LOL. That's me. Those are my 2 dogs.
Cool.
The black one is Bud and the little white one is Daisy.
He's pedo props, as Shins would say.
Ah, they're cute.
I have a cam too if you'd like to see me on cam. You can see Bud on cam too. I gave Daisy away to my nephew before I moved here to Nashville.
Ah, you gave her away.
I really wasn't very happy to, but I thought it would be the best for her because my nephew and his wife.
Alright, everybody, go and set your reminder now for Honest Stream on Friday. Alright, I'll wait. And we're back.
Have a dog just like her.
Cool.
Did you get the other 2 pictures I sent you?
Of your dog? Yeah.
Okay. Want to see me on cam?
Sure.
Look at those big blue eyes. You're so cute. LOL. Rose and smiley face. Hi. Whatever the sign is.
You could just say smiley face if you don't know what it is.
All right, smiley face.
Hi, LOL. Thanks.
You
I got that little be right back thing the other day, and I've just been waiting to use it. So thank you, Honest. You gave me the perfect opportunity to.
welcome. What time is it there?
8:37.
Okay, same time as here then.
Exactly, Amy. A bit more enthusiasm, Lorne. Come on, mate. You know, really get into it.
Thought it was. So I look cuter on cam than I'm doing that picture. LOL.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
LOL.
That's because pics don't do well on me.
Well, that's because pictures don't do very good with me. LOL.
Oh, LOL.
I bet all the boys were after your school, huh? LOL. See you right back.
No, not really. LOL. Okay.
Back. Hang on again. I need to put a towel on the bottom of my door so my neighbors will think the lights are out and I've gone to bed. LOL.
Okay, LOL.
Okay, all set now. LOL.
Why do you want to do that?
Because they're starting to annoy me. They keep coming over and asking me to use my phone, my computer, and if I'll take them to the store. LOL.
LOL, they must bug you lots.
Yep, and it's starting to aggravate me. LOL. So I'm kind of giving them the go-away attitude right now. LOL.
They must like you a lot to want to come to your stream.
LOL.
I find it hard to believe that the boys at your school aren't all after you. You're a little dull.
Aw, thanks.
You're very welcome. If only you were like 5 years older, I'd be after you too. LOL.
Really?
Definitely. LOL. You did the right decision when you put Princess on your ID name. So cute. LOL.
Aw, thanks. Daddy always calls me the princess. LOL.
LOL. He's smart to call you that. LOL. If you were my niece, I'd be spoiling you wrong like I did my other nieces. LOL.
Cool. Daddy likes to spoil me too. LOL.
Unfortunately, you're not my niece. LOL. I can see why he does. LOL.
LOL.
You've got such pretty eyes. LOL.
No problems, honest. I'm keen as mustard.
So my next line is thanks.
You're welcome. I have blue eyes too. Almost the same color blue as yours, I think. Even though you can't tell by the cam or the pics. LOL.
Cool.
If it was daytime, you'd probably be able to tell.
Yeah.
So do you play any sports?
No, not really.
Do you do anything extra at school?
No, just homework. LOL.
LOL. I bet you're not too thrilled about that, huh? LOL.
No, not really. LOL.
LOL. So tell me, why would you want to come in a chat room like this? LOL. They say all kinds of things that you probably shouldn't hear at your age. LOL.
I was bored. LOL.
Oh, LOL. How often do you go in chat rooms?
Never did before. LOL.
LOL. Have you read anything that made you say, wow, too? LOL.
Huh?
So the names that people make up for IDs and some of the things that they talk about in the air. Or have you heard all of that talk before?
Yeah, they're funny.
Driver, I didn't actually realise that was like another one of my weird exclusive Australian sayings, but it must be. So keen as mustard. So like I thought it was everywhere, but Keen's is like a brand of mustard powder. So it's pretty common saying here to say you're keen as mustard. It means you're anxious about doing something in Lorne speak.
LOL.
Not really.
What things have you heard in here so far? LOL.
Nothing really. I've been talking to you. I still in there?
It says you are. Did you click out of the room?
I forgot. LOL.
LOL.
Nope. I forgot.
Must be enjoying talking to me. LOL.
Yeah, you're fun to talk to.
Cool. And I've used to let my nieces go into any chat rooms. LOL.
Why?
They used to get mad at me because of it too. LOL. Because they talk a lot about sex and stuff in them.
Oh.
It bothered me a lot then. Now I've just come to realize it's part of growing up. LOL. Oh. I bet they wish I would have felt that way back then, though. LOL.
LOL.
What else do you do for fun? Besides homework. LOL.
Hang out with my friends, like at the mall, and go shopping. I love shopping.
LOL. You're definitely a girl. LOL.
Well, yeah, I'm a girl.
I mean, because you love shopping, LOL.
Oh, yeah, LOL.
LOL. What do you usually buy when you go shopping? Let me guess. Clothes, LOL.
Yeah?
LOL. Did you see me sneeze, LOL?
Yeah, LOL.
LOL, I think I'm coming down with a cold, LOL.
Aw, sorry.
Me too, I hate colds, LOL.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm guessing that you don't want to take my cold for me, LOL. I'll give you $5 if you do, LOL. What time do you usually go?
What a weird thing to say. I mean, he says a lot of weird shit, but that is weird.
Go to bed.
No, I don't want your cold, thank you.
LOL.
Usually about 10 or 11.
Well, you're still late.
I'm supposed to be in bed by 10, but I sneak sometimes, LOL.
LOL. Naughty girl, LOL.
LOL, yeah.
I'm guessing that you must have a computer in your bedroom then, huh? LOL.
Yeah.
LOL. Uh-oh, LOL. That means you get extra tired in the...
Natty J, I think someone did actually, if I remember correctly, someone did count all the lulls in it. I think it might have been on the Temple of Teacap they put it in. I can't remember for sure, but it was some huge fucking number. And I think someone also worked out the length of time that it takes, you know, that was taken in like the actual sitting at the computer, typing time involved in it as well. It would have been a big job.
Mornings, LOL.
What? LOL.
What time do you wake up in the mornings?
About 6.
Do you always sneak online after you're supposed to go to bed?
G'day, 80s girl.
Sometimes.
LOL.
I'm quiet, LOL.
LOL. Make sure the volume's down and everything, LOL.
I turn it off, LOL.
LOL. This is your first time you've ever been in the chat room?
Yeah, you go in there lots?
Yep, when I don't have anything else to do, I will, oh, that's your LOL.
LOL.
How do you like the chat room so far?
LOL, I haven't looked at it.
LOL, too busy concentrating on me, LOL.
LOL, looks like dumb stuff.
LOL, have you read any of it?
No, I'm looking at it now.
G'day, Michael Rodriguez.
Okay, LOL. Does anyone else send you a message besides me from the chat room?
Yeah, but I closed them, LOL.
LOL.
What you mean by perv? What's that?
Okay, I'll tell you, LOL. So when they talk about sex, some people think it's perverted.
Okay.
In other words, that's all they want to talk about. You know what I mean now?
Okay, I guess. They want to talk about it, LOL.
Yep, LOL. A lot, LOL. Be right back, I need another drink of water.
Okay.
Alright, I'm just about out of time that I have for today. I had to start a little bit later than I usually do because of some work stuff. I know I've got to get that job out of our lives. So we're going to pause that one there and come back to that maybe the next stream. And yeah, so we'll just pick up where we left off, and we'll keep making our way through this. So, but I wonder if everyone just wants another quick palate cleanser before we leave of Mr. Democracy Manifest himself.
You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car.
Sit down inside the car. I don't sound like that, right, guys? Like, I do not sound like that. Sit down inside the car. I fucking hope not.
You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. I'm not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this? For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands. Ta-ta and farewell. One tough look. They even broke.
Well, on that note, guys, ta-ta and farewell. And don't forget to delete your archives. I'll see you all again really soon. Thanks for being here.
Need a voiceover artist?